Chilika, Asia's largest estuarine ecosystem, is spread over Puri, Khurda and Ganjam districts of the state of Odisha on the east coast of India. Best known for its marshes and waterfall, Chilika supports some of the largest congregations of aquatic birds in the country. On the northwestern bank of Chilika lies the picturesque village of Mangalajodi. Recognized for its wetland and marshes, Mangalajodi is home to thousands of migratory as well as resident birds during winter.
The Mangalajodi Marsh harbors a number of flora and fauna, and most importantly the migratory bird, and to worth mentioning the waders. Normally it is seen that the waders, they come every winter, and the global population of the wader is declining because of the loss of habitat. So Mangalajodi is a ray of hope for the conservation of the waders.
I realize this place is very, very unique from two different perspectives. One is, you get birds from very close range. So there are a lot of common birds, there are a lot of migratory birds, there are a lot of birds who are resident here. But the second thing is, there are a lot of birds which are very, very difficult to find in the other wetlands in the country. I saw at least 5 such species which has been on my checklist for a very, very long time. But here, every drive I've done, every boat ride I've done, I've absolutely seen those species, and I'm very, very delighted about it. And that's the reason why, I've started defining this place as the magical Mangalajodi. Yeah.
People of Mangalajodi are engaged in agriculture, fishing, boat building, bamboo weaving, and in recent times, ecotourism. However, during 1990s, the area was infamous due to another occupation practiced by some of the villagers.
The scenario was something different 2 decades back. The villagers, they started, kind of poaching birds and selling them as a part of their livelihood activity.
Earlier, the bird population in Mangalajodi wasn't much, as there was large-scale poaching of birds.
It is not as if no one from the community was concerned.
I used to feel very bad about the large-scale poaching of birds. They are so beautiful and harmless. Why do people kill them, I thought. I wanted to stop this practice, but didn't know how to go about it.
What follows is a story of transformation of Mangalajodi, from being notorious as a poacher's village to a nature lover's paradise.
One day, when I went to my college, one of my teachers asked, "Niranjan, such large-scale poaching goes on in your village. Why don't you do something about it? Unless youngsters like you do something, this practice will never stop. Do something about it." That day, my resolve was made. At that time, there was a youth club in my village. I joined it with the specific purpose of trying to influence them to hold discussions with the poachers to stop poaching. A few members were convinced and decided to join me in my mission.
Some local youths formed a committee and named it Mahavir Pakshi Suraksha Samiti. Its objective was to protect the birds.
We decided to rope in some influential elderly person from outside who would be able to convince the villagers to help us in our mission. We approached one such person, Mr. Nandakishore Bhujbal, a well-known nature activist of the area, and requested him to help us in our work. Since he liked our mission, he agreed. In the meeting with the local community, he told the villagers to join hands with us and help us stop poaching of birds. He also assured them of extending all possible help for this cause.
With the formation of the Birds Protection Committee, the members prepared themselves to face the challenges that lay ahead.
The greatest challenge in front of us was to convince Kishore Behera, who was referred to as Virappan of Mangalajodi. He was the leader of all poachers. If we could convince him to stop, rest would follow. But it was a very difficult task.
I must have killed millions of birds. I used to trap birds in the night and sell them in the morning. It was a means of livelihood for me.
We had a series of meetings with Kishore Behera, but he wouldn't agree. Poaching is my main source of livelihood. How would I survive if I stop poaching? He would argue.
People like Bhujbal and Dr. Patnaik of Chilka Development Authority were trying to convince me and others to give up poaching and importance of conservation. They kept on convincing me, though I kept refusing. They tried everything, from appealing to my conscience to offering economic incentives. Finally, I gave up and agreed to stop poaching, and was also able to convince others to stop poaching and form a bird protection committee. It took almost a year for us to agree to stop poaching and form a committee.
Once he joined us, it wasn't difficult to rope in others. Thus, we were able to completely stop poaching in Mangalajodi.
However, this situation didn't last long as Kishore Behera was forced to go back to his older profession.
As an alternative to poaching, I tried fishing deep inside Chilka Lake. I took others with me. However, the fish population was declining too, and we couldn't get much catch. So interest of others declined. They didn't want to come to fishing with me. Since it wasn't possible to go for fishing alone, I had no alternative but to start poaching again.
Realizing that the poachers were unlikely to give up poaching without an alternate source of livelihood, the committee members convinced the government to provide cash incentives to the poachers.
Nanda Bhujbal and Dr. Patnaik had a meeting with us. They announced that they would give us rupees 500 per head per month if we stop poaching. We negotiated for more and settled for rupees 1000 per month, to which they agreed. I was also offered lease for fishing nearby, and a loan was also made available to start piggery. After this assurance, we stopped poaching completely.
Mr. Patnaik made all of us to take an oath for protection of birds.
It was quite heartening. I think it is in fact a unique experience in my life. When I saw these dreaded bird poachers, they took a vow in front of me by taking a dip inside Chilka and took an oath in the name of goddesses Kalijai, the abode, the goddesses venerated by this community, not to poach, but they took a vow that they won't harm any bird and they won't eat bird meat. And that was the turning point, and after that they never looked back.
An hardcore poacher like Kishore Behera, who was referred to as Virappan of Odisha, gave up poaching and joined the Birds Protection Committee. It was unbelievable. A very good relationship developed between the Bird Protection Committee and the Forest Department. As a result, the entire area of Mangalajodi stopped poaching.
Due to the combined efforts of NGOs, local community, Forest Department, Chilka Development Authority, amongst others, protection and conservation of birds was ensured.
Having stopped poaching, the next big challenge facing the stakeholders was to sustain the enthusiasm and create opportunities for alternate source of livelihood. They approached RBS Foundation, an organization engaged in providing support for enterprise development and conservation of environment, to help them design and implement a livelihood program that would create sustainable livelihood opportunities for the erstwhile poachers. RBS Foundation got involved and invited Indian Grameen Services, a not-for-profit company engaged in livelihood promotion through capacity building, research and development, to provide hand-holding support, and thus was launched Mangalajodi Ecotourism project.
We met RBS Foundation and requested them to help us. They agreed and floated the idea of starting ecotourism as a livelihood option. We liked the idea and decided to try it out. Sanjeev sir of IGS helped us with promotion, marketing and provided the much needed support.
When we started this Mangalajodi Ecotourism as a project through Indian Grameen Services, so we faced a lot of problems and challenges at the community level. The poachers have been transformed as protectors. They are conserving their wetland ecosystems, but at the same time the livelihood issue in front of the villagers was very crucial. So to address those problems, so we started the initiatives and a lot of consultations with the communities and organized them to build a community institutions. Finally, we are able to form the Mangalajodi Ecotourism as a community managed ecotourism trust.
We formed an organization, Mangalajodi Ecotourism Trust. It has 62 members as of now, consisting of ex-poachers and their family members. We are trying to conserve the wetland and provide disciplined ecotourism services to tourists.
Because of conservation efforts and ecotourism, many tourists are coming. This has resulted in an increase in the economic activities benefiting the villagers. Even the fish population has increased, thereby benefiting the fishermen. Today, people from other villages are approaching us to help them form protection committees and start ecotourism in their villages, so that they too can benefit. Villagers feel that the government should provide them with economic help till the time ecotourism is established in their village.
I am a member of Ecotourism Trust. Ecotourism has increased livelihood opportunities for auto drivers, boatmen and also shopkeepers.
Ecotourism has not only provided livelihood opportunities to people of Mangalajodi, but has also brought fame and recognition.
To name, I would say that the RBS Foundation and the IGS, I think now they are doing the real job of, since they have come to a stage now to hold that interest and to carry it forward towards sustainability. I think what is required is to build an institution and do the conflict resolution. I think they are doing that crucial job. I think I'll give all the credit to them for this.
I am a member of self-help group. I joined Ecotourism Trust to help my group members sell their products to tourists.
Earlier, we were afraid of forest department, police and were constantly on the run. But today, due to our act of protecting birds, the same departments have given us recognition and have even awarded us. To be recognized and awarded means a lot to me.
I think it's a fantastic initiative, and I as a wildlife lover, I as a nature lover, and the entire community of people who love nature, who love wildlife, who take pictures in the wildlife, I think they are indebted to this group for all our life and all our generations, because what they have done is, they have preserved this for our generations to come and have a look at. People who were poachers earlier, they did the hard work, they convinced them, and those poachers are today guides, and they are the conservationists here. I think this is a very, very unique value proposition which these people have, thought through and brought on the table. Otherwise, believe me, I would have never come here, and there would have been no birds out here. That's the way I look at it.
The story of Mangalajodi demonstrates that man can and will live in harmony with nature. Once he is enlightened about the interdependent nature of every organism in this universe,